everybody, it's Dean. Welcome to Bring Back Rock. Today we're talking about a band I wanted to talk about since I started this channel. Speaking of which, thanks to everybody that likes, subscribes, shares, or just watches. I really do appreciate it. Thanks for letting me know you're out there. So I want to talk about them from the beginning, and a number of you guys have asked me to talk about them as well. So I want to talk about them. You want to hear about them? It's about time we do this. This is a band that had help from two legends of the genre, two legends from the same band actually, so we'll talk about that and a lot more. We're going to talk today about Julliet. Julliet was formed in Tampa, Florida in 1985 by Jimmy DeLisi and Ty Westerhoff. They eventually added local singer Kenny McGee. The band gained a huge following in the market. They were making $4,500 a week playing gigs in the area. One night after a show, Kenny met Kevin Dubrow. Yes, that Kevin Dubrow, lead singer of Quiet Riot. They were both at an after-hours club after their respective gigs. Kenny and Kevin hit it off, and Kevin ended up as producer for what was to be Julliet's debut album, Passion. Kevin brought in drummer Frankie Banalli, yes, that Frankie Banalli, most famous for playing in W.A.S.P and Quiet Riot, to play on the record. And I think you can really hear some of the Quiet Riot influences on some of the tracks. Now, Julliet, not content with being the biggest fish in a pond in Florida, decided to take the band to LA, as it was obviously the place to be. Now, if memory serves singer Kenny McGee correctly, their first gig was headlined by Sweet Savage. Julliet was scheduled to open the show, which featured a number of bands. Here's how crazy the flyering was in LA. Julliet handed out 4,000 flyers for the show, and you're supposed to bring them back to the show. I think got a discount, whatever, on a lot of them. Anyway, seven of the 4,000 flyers came back. But the show was still packed thanks to headliner Sweet Savage. Now here at this show, Kevin Dubrow again stepped up for the band. He told the promoter his boys weren't going to start the show, no way. They would go on just before the headliner, to which the promoter agreed. Julliet also impressed the biggest promoter in the area, who took them under his wing. It led to the biggest entertainment lawyer in the area, and the band was really poised for success. Exactly 1 year and 7 shows after getting to LA, Julliet signed the biggest deal Enigma had ever offered. Kenny later learned that the band really only needed one show, as Enigma had already decided to sign the band after the first show. Not having anything to do with the recording of Passion, Enigma wanted the band to go into the studio and record a whole new album, which they did. That album was a self-titled debut released in 1990 with a lineup of Kenny McGee on vocals, Jimmy DeLisi on guitar, Ty Westerhoff on bass, and when they moved to LA, they added drummer Greg Pecca, who had played with Dokken and Hellion. The album charted and the single was doing well on rock radio such as Z-Rock. But even as the album was gaining momentum, they were on radio, like I said, they had sold 300,000 units. Momentum was really building. The album was on the charts. But even as this was happening, Capitol Records decided to pull them off the road. You see, Capitol Records owned half of Enigma, and now they took over the other half, and they were deciding which Enigma artists to keep and which ones to cut loose. Capitol decided to keep Julliet and wanted them to record their next album, even though the current album was still doing well. But they, Capitol, had nothing to do with the recording of the debut, and as such, they didn't want to give the band the support to promote it. So, into the studio the band went. Kenny and the label rep assigned to the band butted heads relentlessly, to the point where Kenny, who had been receiving offers to return to Florida to record solo with no interference, decided to leave. He went to Florida to join the band Heartless. Julliet tried to continue without Kenny for a time, but eventually called it quits. Now, Passion, the album recorded by Kevin Dubrow, was finally released on Metal Mayhem in 2002. They also released a new album, Psycho Boyfriend, in 2004, with the 3 main members and new drummer Joey Sakari, a rhythm guitarist J.J. Johnson, and keyboardist Rob Stoney. Now, the style on Psycho Boyfriend, I'll be honest, I don't have the record. I believe I heard samples way back when, and I had the impression that it was more of a alternative or modern rock sound, which is what I went on the message boards and found out a lot of people were saying, that it had a more alternative or more modern rock, or sometimes even more funky than the original. So I encourage everybody to go check it out, just like I'm probably going to do now that I know it's still available, which I'll talk about in a second. All 3 albums are available to buy. Psycho Boyfriend, Passion, and the debut can all be bought at Eonian Records, E-O-N-I-A-N Records, only Passion is streaming, however, at least on Spotify. Now, the Heartless recordings can also be found under Kenny McGee's Heartless Days, D-A-Z-E, Volume 1 and 2 at Aeonian Records. Also, here's some good news for fans of the band. A new Julliet album is in the works featuring Kenny McGee and guitarist Jimmy DeLisi. It also features Dean Damizio from Heartless. He's on drums. The new album features contributions from Brian Johnson of AC/DC and Bill Leverty of Firehouse. The album was being recorded remotely with file sharing, but now I hear that's changed, and the boys are all getting together in the studio to re-record the songs together and bring that magic of being in the same room together creating music onto the album. They are also playing shows. Now, the last live lineup I saw had Kenny on vocals and other people playing. Mick Peace was on guitar, Eddie Cruz was on drums, and Robbie Sin was on bass, but I believe the original guys are doing the recording of the album. Now, Ty Westerhoff, bass player, has unfortunately passed away in 2005. All right, let's hear some music samples off the first two albums, and then I will catch up with you at the end of the video. right, so that was a little bit about Julliet. Like I said, all three records can be found, or all the records can be found on Eonian Records. The new one's on the way. Only Passion is on Spotify, but go check them out. I think you'll really like them. Really excited about that new album they're recording. So that's it on Julliet, and that's it for the episode. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.